smile even though it's breaking.
Welcome aboard. Fasten your seatbelts and allow Group D to take you on a short but exciting journey. Together, as you have seen on the videos, we will explore two companies operating in the same industry, Virgin American Airlines and United Airlines. While on the surface they do the same thing, transport passengers to and from, their operations could not be more different. We will explore these differences using Terry Hill's framework and understand the level of alignment between each company, other winners and other qualifiers, and their respective competitive capabilities. But first, let us introduce you to our two airlines and to the airline industry. Let's begin with the key facts. Founded by Richard Branson, Virgin America began its operations centered on the US West Coast, and their operations are modest in comparison to many airline giants. As you can see on the screen, almost 3,000 employees, 7 million passengers a year, 2 main hubs, 25 routes, revenues around $1.5 billion, and a fleet of 60 aircrafts. Despite their modest size, Virgin America, as we will see, has shaped up the American airlines industry over the past decade. On the contrary, United Airlines, with a headquarters in Chicago, is the largest global airline. 84,000 employees, 90 million passengers a year, more than 200 routes in US, hubs at the main metropolitan cities, and a fleet of more than 700 airplanes. Both airlines are pioneers in their own way. United has a rich history, beginning its operations in the pre-war golden age of commercial aviation. Since then, it has grown steadily through mergers and acquisitions, most recently with Continental in 2010, at which point it became the world's largest airline. The company struggled through bankruptcy and has yet to fully recover. Virgin routes are not as long, but date back to Richard Branson's creation of the lifestyle brand in the 70s in the UK. As part of this global brand, Virgin America was launched as the first US-based low-fare, high-quality service at the same time that United was battling its way through its financial doldrums. It was acquired by Alaska Airlines this year. Despite the differences, both companies operate in the same industry, which is characterized especially by the existence of two types of players, budget low-cost and major carriers. It is a highly regulated industry, very sensitive also to variances in fuel costs. The industry is growing in the Middle East and Asia, and despite the rising passenger expectation, it is said that what is good for a passenger is typically awful for an airline's finance. Moving on to the US context, we see a large and mature market that continues to grow, especially low-cost airlines. Now the competition is less severe than in the last years, but the buyer power is high due to the different alternatives in the market. Market that is mature and consolidated, where partnerships and alliances have been on the rise in response to the increasing pressure for higher operational efficiency through cost control. If we take a look at the perceptual map, we can analyze the positioning of the two airlines along perceived quality, represented here by the vertical blue line, and by price, represented by the horizontal red line. We can see that Virgin America stands out. This is in line with the latest industry reports, which reveal that Virgin America has recently topped the annual airline quality rating report for the fourth year in a row. United, however, is perceived by customers as middle of the pack. Once we all know more about the competition, the customers, and the value proposition for them, Terry Hill offers a useful framework for analyzing corporate objectives and for investigating how such a strategy aligns with the marketing and operational strategies. Listening to the airlines describe their objectives can leave you with the impression that they are similar. Both speak of prioritizing their customers and staff. Of course, as we will see, this is only operationally true in one case. Even working with their own descriptions, we see that Virgin America strives to innovate and differentiate itself by reinventing the flying experience and changing the status quo. United is more static in its mission, striving for approval and recognition, including from its shareholders. Moving on to our own analysis, Terry Hill lists 5 possible financial corporate objectives. Of these 5, return on investment and assets are not applicable to the airline industry. Growth and market share, however, are objectives pursued by both airlines. How they seek to do this, as we will see during the rest of our presentation, is markedly different. Virgin America has a clearly developed strategy involving leveraging its brand and services, whereas United seeks growth and market share through the more ambiguous operational efficiency and profitability. To have a more clear vision of these propositions, let's see these videos together.
What Virgin is about is taking on big conglomerates and moving into their territory and seeing if we can shake them up. We've managed to do that in the music business, in the mobile phone business, we've managed to do that in the aviation business. And I think where the people who work for Virgin get their passion from is being proud of the difference that Virgin's making.
Every thought, every movement, carefully planned, coordinated, and synchronized. Performing together with a single united purpose. That's what makes the world's leading airline flyer-friendly.
Thanks, Jose. So, by now you should be starting to get a sense for why these airlines are so different to each other. United's slick video, with its classy yet rather unsubtle message of delivering a carefully orchestrated and coordinated service, some might say conservative in its values, contrasts sharply with Virgin's anything but conservative approach, with its bright colours, funky music and viral safety videos which have taken the industry by storm, with awards and critical acclaim from passengers and industry analysts alike. This leads us nicely into talking about the comparative order winners of each company. United relies on its vast fleet of planes and established hub-and-spoke network of routes to win over passengers, offering flexibility of connections and accessibility in terms of airport time slots and gate allocations. Its membership of Star Alliance is also a key deciding factor for many customers wishing to build on and maintain their air miles. Virgin, on the other hand, prides itself on offering unparalleled customer service, outstanding performance on industry benchmark statistics such as on-time arrivals, baggage handling, and denied boardings. In addition to this, Virgin sets out to sell more than just transportation from A to B. When customers choose Virgin, they're choosing the Virgin experience. The in-flight amenities, entertainment options, mood lighting, leather seats, and a whole host of other innovative features have proved to be a popular draw for first-time and returning customers. You may be wondering why we've listed price as a qualifier, not a winner. The US airline market is extremely competitive, and as with other airline markets around the world, cost is a very important factor for customers. As we saw earlier, Virgin's positioning in the market as a premium budget airline would seem to suggest that cost is a differentiating factor. However, neither Virgin or United is the cheapest airline in the US, and furthermore, it's precisely because the industry is so competitive that airlines are forced to compete on other factors to win their customers. One of Virgin's many trending adverts online summed this up very nicely. All fares being equal, awesome wins. Other qualifiers here include dependability, convenience, and the existence of products extensions such as the ability to add checked baggage, etc. So what are these companies' competitive capabilities? Let's take Virgin first this time. Virgin has some really valuable competitive capabilities, such as its ability to innovate, but also its enthusiastic, productive employees are engaged and keen to go above and beyond to satisfy the customer. The sense of fun and style on board, together with the aesthetic and the comfort, really help them to achieve that Virgin experience, and that's all tied together by a global brand and reputation. Their fleet is also very modern, with no such thing as standard economy. In Virgin, the economy is premium too. Over to United. United have a history of conservative values. They've been there for a long time and have this sense of dependability about them, as a name that people grew up with. United have a strong capability of focusing on cost and cost effectiveness. But on board a United flight, economy really is economy. The seats are much closer together, there's much less legroom, and much less comfort. United also rely on a lot of capabilities related to its size, such as strong bargaining power and cost efficiencies gained through economies of scale. And finally, the fact that they're part of such a large frequent flyer program means that their customers would stand to lose out on bonuses they've been working towards if they chose to switch. Moving on now to look at some of the operational processes that each airline has chosen to support their order winners and qualifiers. Virgin have strategically chosen to focus on long-haul routes, thereby reducing average fuel usage and maintenance schedules due to the cruising phase being much less intensive on the aircraft. In line with budget airlines, Virgin operates one type of aircraft, but more than that, they offer a standard set of modern amenities on board, including free Wi-Fi and one of the most advanced in-flight entertainment systems of any airline, with fun, innovative features such as on-demand meal ordering and the ability to send drinks and messages to other passengers on board. We've already mentioned the mood lighting and leather seats, but it's worth pointing out that this kind of standardization of the ambulance and features on board each plane provides passengers with a consistency of service, instilling further trust. For Virgin, it really is about giving the passenger the best experience possible from start to finish. For United, on the other hand, customer service is not so much a priority. They operate multiple types of aircraft, and the onboard amenities vary from plane to plane. United have chosen a route of trying to pursue operational excellence by carefully looking to refine processes and identify means for cost-cutting. Unfortunately, this can often lead to processes that are overly complicated. Now seems like a good time to discuss the biggest and most visible difference between the operations of each company: their culture. In a way, culture is what defines Virgin. This stems from Richard Branson's strong belief that employees are a company's most important asset. Virgin is very selective about its hiring, making sure that it only hires people who fit with the culture. On average, only 1 out of every 100 people who apply to Virgin actually get the job. Virgin looks for positive, competent, friendly, committed people with a good outlook on life. They need to be creative, have a sense of humour, and most of all, they need to have fun. As the Virgin CEO says, if your employees aren't having fun, your customers will notice. Most importantly though, when your employees are happy, engaged and having fun, they're also more productive. At United, the complete opposite is true. Their focus on procedure and efficiency is cold and ruthless, with a traditional business approach that leaves little room for emotional connection with employees. United's deficit of culture is not a recent phenomenon. However, the situation has been greatly exacerbated since their merger with Continental in 2010. When Oscar Munoz took over as CEO of United in 2015, he said that the United employees had been allowed to be disengaged, disenchanted and disenfranchised. Such employees are less productive and much more prone to make mistakes. And so it should come as no surprise that United consistently ranked bottom of customer satisfaction surveys, baggage handling complaints, etc. Many of the points on the infrastructure slide have already been covered when we talked about culture, but I'll just draw your attention quickly to the issue of training. At Virgin, their approach is to teach employees, who they call teammates, just the basics. They expect them to then use their imagination and creativity to solve the rest. This brings a sense of empowerment to the employees and helps them to make every experience great. At United, on the other hand, the training is extremely rigid and prescriptive. The employees are not allowed to think for themselves. Also note that Virgin's approach to hiring and training and the increased productivity that brings helps them to maintain one of the lowest payrolls in the industry without skimping on salaries. So what has all this meant for Virgin and United? Well, in simple terms, in recent years, Virgin has been gaining market share, increasing revenues and profits, with concrete plans to expand their fleet and add new routes. In contrast to this, despite the relatively easy period for profit making in the industry over the past year or so with the fall in oil prices, United has experienced a decline in revenues and market share, dropping to the third largest US airline by traffic after American Airlines and Delta. They have initiatives to improve the customer experience, but their brand has been seriously damaged, and employee frustration is leading to labour union issues. Virgin's acquisition 2 months ago by Alaska Air will surely present some interesting challenges on the road ahead, but our understanding is that Alaska recognised the value of the brand and reputation that Virgin have built so superbly in such a short space of time, and they're unlikely to make any drastic changes to the business anytime soon. United, on the other hand, will need to innovate to stay in the game. In today's world, both customers and employees have choices, more choices than ever. On behalf of the entire crew of Team D, I'd like to thank you for joining us in this trip, and we look forward to welcoming you on board the forum again very soon.